Whereas the government continues to control the locust invasion in the country, vast swarms of desert locusts have descended on food and pasture in Elgeyo Marakwet County.
Residents are worried that the locusts will bring havoc in the region if the government does not act fast. Our reporter John Wanyama speaks to Elgeyo Marakwet Deputy Governor Wesley Rotich. Wanyama.
Thank you, Zinse. And indeed, in Elgeyo Marakwet, especially Kerio Valley, locusts are eating each and everything that is green. And residents, as you've said, they are worried that these locusts will cause havoc in their farms if they continue, if the government is not going really to do anything. But luckily, Zinse, these locusts, they started with the deputy governor's farm. Maybe they thought the farm was so fertile, or the grass or the food was so delicious. Governor, if you can just come closer here, you talk to us. How bad is it in the situation down there?
I want to say that this locust menace is a very strange thing, and I just talked to some of my some old people in my village, and they told me the last time they saw this was when they were very small children in the 1940s, and they landed in Elgeyo Marakwet on Tuesday at around 4:30 in the evening, and they are serious swarm because they were covering a radius of 4 kilometers at once. When they land on 4 kilometers, and within 5 minutes or so, they actually consume a huge chunk of vegetation. And it landed through a place called Chegilet, and specifically my village. And they left yesterday. They actually moving. So they left southwards, but still within Elgeyo Marakwet County. And last evening, because they don't wake up very early, so they landed just somewhere between Kabulwa and Irimoy Game Reserve. So they are there's in some few meters from the Irimoy National Reserve, and we are still very worried because we have animals in the game reserve, and if they consume all the vegetation, then we will be at risk. But however, as a county, we have a team which has been monitoring the situation, and the only difficult thing for us as county is that we had actually contemplated using hand sprays, but again, a distance of 4 kilometers, these things are moving, and when they settle on tall trees. In Kerio Valley, we don't have the shrubs like other areas, like in the savannas. In Kerio Valley, we have tall acacia trees, and they settle on those tall acacia trees. It's impossible to use hand spray to actually spray an acacia tree. So meaning that we only need to actually rely on aerial spraying, which we have already communicated with the National Response Center. Our governor, of course, is in Nairobi, and he is in touch with them. I spoke with the PS, Professor Amadi Boga, yesterday, and he was telling me that he was to send a team. And we are really worried that if they overstay in the Kerio Valley, this period when the rains have subsided, is very dangerous for the animals and for actually the general livelihood. And I want to request the national government, because research is still national, research institutions are national, universities are still national, that if possible, you can look for a scientific solution to this. I would request the PS and the minister, if possible, they can easily engage the University of Nairobi, or these are all the other universities and serious entomologists, to tell us how this thing can be, how we can tackle it scientifically. Telling us that the color, the age, we can't actually say that is the serious. We are aware that this thing has just happened in a lifetime, but again, that's not an excuse to actually give us shallow stories. It's actually important that we use scientists to give us the issues. Probably these professors, the tragedy with our country is that we don't trust our brilliant minds. If these professors were given chance to even run this thing, I think they would have given us very easy solutions so that we can be able to handle this once and for all, because they are migrating. So if they are migrating, you don't know if they are laying eggs, you don't know what they are doing. If they are migrating, then it means they will go around the country before we arrest. Because this swarm which we have in Elgeyo Marakwet probably must have come from Laikipia through Baringo now to Elgeyo Marakwet, meaning that if it were arrested in Laikipia, then that damage would not have come this side. So even if they can arrest it within Elgeyo Marakwet now, as we speak, then it would be easy. But I would want to tell my residents of Elgeyo Marakwet County that they should not panic. We are in control. We are trying to get Nairobi and immediately we get a response, we will be able to communicate.
Okay. So lastly, Governor, where are they moving us from now? Are they heading to south, or are they approaching In Elgeyo County? Where are they heading as we talk?
As we speak, where they slept, and I've confirmed some less than 20 minutes ago, they have not moved from where they landed yesterday evening at around 5 p.m. So they are still between a place called Rimoy and Kabulwa. They are in between there, just next to the power line and next to our game reserve fence, electric fence. So since on Tuesday, they have been moving southwards, but within Elgeyo Marakwet County along the Kerio Valley. So we don't know if they'll be going islands, but our experience that I think they don't go to very cold places. So they might still continue coming this way, but we wanted Nairobi to intercept them. Again, you cannot do it during the day. You cannot spray late in the day. You have to spray very early in the morning, because they sleep and they actually relax up to around 9. But again, they don't relax. They eat whatever they have overnight. And by the time they are waking up in the morning, they'll have cleared the vegetation around there.
Okay, Waziri, the CS for Agriculture is saying that these locusts are maybe yellow in color. These US ones, what is the color that they're having? And maybe, do you think they are old, or they are dying any time from now?
It's an interesting discussion when you start talking about colors. Yet okay. Anyway, we were asked about the colors, and what we gave as a response is that we have some yellowish and some pinkish, and we are told that pinkish ones are very disastrous, and I think those ones are the ones which are actually eating the vegetation. But again, we can't know, because these are millions and millions. When they move, Wanyama, when they move, you cannot see the sun. When they're moving above your head, you can't see the sun. You will see a shadow. So telling you these are millions and millions, you will never tell who is eating and who is not eating.
Okay.
You are lying if I'll say.
Thank you, Governor. Luckily, they started with your farm, so that at least you can work. Zinzi, it's good when they start with our leaders, so that they can take really a serious and fast actions, so that they can put them under control. But as you have heard, these locusts, they are moving and covering a distance of 150 kilometers per day. That one you can imagine how in a week or 2 days or so, how the distance they will have covered in a particular day, and the destruction they will have caused. Now that they wake up very late in the morning, I think this is the time the government now should move in and ensure that they spray. But residents also, they are worried that they have their crops down there, and that if the government will come and spray, what are the impact or side effects of that spray for their crops, for their animals that are also feeding on those vegetation?